in dubious focus, but with 3 working light bulbs again. Killer Sudoku! I could make a funny joke now if I could remember any songs by a band called The Killers, or whatever. A song called Killers by Iron Maiden, never mind. This is Sudoku, so you have 1 through 9 in each column, and in each row, and in each 3 by 3. Rather than giving you free numbers, it gives you the totals in dotted outlines, and the dotted outlines have no repeats in them. From this, you can work it all out. Come on, work it all out now. The same things as we usually in Kakuro, like, there was one, good grief, there's a 5-parter there. 23 in 3 boxes has to be 6, 8, 9 in Kakuro or in Killer Sudoku. So that has to be 6, 8 and 9. A 16 has to be 7 and 9. 16 in 2 parts has to be 7 and 9. A 14 in 2 parts can be 6 and 8 or 5 and 9. 4 in 2 parts has to be 1 and 3, and so on. Because this is giving you totals, as indeed Kakuro did, you can also work by subtraction. To say, for example, this 3 by 3 has to be 1 plus 2 plus 3 yada yada 9, which makes 45. That dotted outline plus that dotted outline plus that dotted outline plus that dotted outline are 14 plus 14 plus 8 plus 10. 28, 38, 46. So the difference between all of those dotted outlines put together and that 3 by 3 must be 46 minus 45, which is 1. And the difference between all those dotted outlines put together and that 3 by 3 is that space there. So we've got a 1. This grid is very helpful. It's got the same thing in all 4 corners. 15 plus 12 plus 9 is 36, so those make 9. 36 plus 12 is 48, 48, that shape, minus 45, just that part of it, is 3. That is 3. Up here, rotational symmetry for that one, 16 plus 14, 30, plus 8 plus 9, 47. So 2. And down here, 16 plus 9 is 25, plus 5 is 30, plus 23 is 53. Minus 45 is 8. This being a 3-part 23, we know that has to be 6, 8 and 9. Conveniently, 8 does feature in that list. Right, now that we've got an 8 in this 3 by 3, we know this can't be 6 and 8, it must be 5 and 9. That being 5 and 9 means that can't be 5 and 9, it must be 6 and 8. That 16 has to be 7 and 9, which also means this can't be 5 and 9 and must be 6 and 8, which means that can't be 6 and 8 and must be 5 and 9. That being 5 and 9 means that can't be 4 and 9 or 5 and 8, couldn't be anyway, so it must be 6 and 7. So this 9, it can't be 1 and 8, it can't be 2 and 7, it can't be 3 and 6, can't be 1 and 8 because of that as well, it must be 4 and 5. Don't know which round any of those go yet, but we have a lot of info about what can go there. We also now have a 1 in that space, a 3 in that space, dotted outlines for all of these spaces making 39, and one thing left. 30, 39, 40, 43, that must make 45, so that must be 2. Which is also the only number that's left over. You've got the 7 and 9, you've got the 4 and 5, you've got the 6 and 8, 2 is the only thing left. Over here, there has to be 5 and 9, that can't be 2, 5, could be 3, 4 or 1, 6 so far. That being 5 and 9, that has to be 6 and 7, so that can't be 3, 6. Can't be 3, 6 anyway, because that makes 9. It can't be 3, 4. It has to be 1, 6, and that leaves, well, 7, 34, 42, 44. It leaves a 1, doesn't it? So to make 8, that must be 6. To make 6, that must be 5. And that gives me an inroad onto this central square, central 3 by 3. I know that is 3 and 4. It can't be 1 and 6 or 2 and 5, that's 3 and 4. That's 7 and 9, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. That has to be 8. This can't be 1 and 6. It can't be 1 and 6 because neither space can be 6, there is already a 6 in this column, and it can't be 1 and 6 because this space can't be 1 or 6. Because it already has a 1 in that row and already has a 6 in that column. It's fine. That has to be 5 and 9, that has to be 6 and 8, so that still can't be 6. We already knew that. Could be 2, 5 that way around. Oh, it can't. This space can't be 2 because there is a 2 in this row, and it can't be 5 because there's a 5 in this 3 by 3. This has to be 3 and 4. One way up or the other. That has to be 1 and 3. So that can't be 3. One of those is already a 3. That has to be the 4. That must be the 3. Now that I've got that 3, and that 6 and that 5, and this 29, oh boy, 6 and 5 is 11, 29 plus 11 is 40, 43 to make the full 45, that must be 2. To make 6, that must be 4. Which actually we could have done right from the start, because 26 and 10 and 5, you need another 4 to make 45. Likewise up here, 13, 21, 25, you need another 20, you've got 16, you need another 4. Alright, we've got 5, 9 and 6 and 8, what does that leave? It leaves 4 and 7 to go there, doesn't it? And 4 in that column is down there, so that's 7 and that's 4. And 1 and 9 go there, but we don't, we do. That must be 7 and 9, so that can't be 9. That's 1, that's 9. That being 3 means the remaining part of this 12 must be the remaining 9. Can't be 1, 8, can't be 2, 7, can't be 3, 6, must be 4, 5. And we have a 4 in this row already, so that's the 5, that's the 4. 5 can be 1, 4 or 2, 3, but we already have a 4 in this row, so it can't be 1, 4. And we already have a 1 and a 4 in this column, so that space can't be 1 or 4, so it can't be 1 and 4. It must be 2 and 3. We also already have a 3 in this column, so that can't be 3, it must be 2. Another way to that is that to make 5, you have to use numbers less than 5. So this space must be a number less than 5, and it can't be 1, 3 or 4, which only leaves 2. That makes that 3. 3 and 4 already being here means this 12 can't be 3, 9 or 4, 8, it must be 5, 7. We already have a 7 up here in one of these two, so that must be the 5, and that one must be the 7. That 5 means this can't be 5, 9, it must be 6, 8. We already have 6, 8 that way round, so down here they must go the other way round. That also means 6 and 8 go here. In fact, it means 8 goes there. We have an 8 in that column, we have an 8 in that column, 8 in this column must go up here somewhere, and it can't be 8 and something making 4, and it can't be 8 and 0 making 8, so it must be 8 and 5 making 13. And I've got a 3, which tells me that this 1 and 3 must be that way around. What's left for this 3 by 3 is 1 and 9, which must go there. And I know which way round because there's a 12 here, which can't be 5, 7 or 4, 8, must be 3 and 9. So there's a 9 and 1 of them. Oh, I've even got the 3. Never mind, there's a 9 and 1 of them, there's a 9 there. That 9 tells me that 9 has to be up there, so that's 1. (16) plus 1 plus 6 plus 8 plus 9 plus 3 plus that makes 45. Yeah, 16, 22, 30, 43, that's 2. Alternative approach, we have 1, 3, 6, 8 and 9, so we need 2, 4, 5 and 7, which make 18, which is 2 too many for this, so you need to take 2 out of there and put it over here instead. Another alternative approach, you've already got a 9 here, so this can't be 6 and 9, it must be 7 and 8, which couldn't go in 9 anyway, because at least 1 and 2, therefore at most 6. And in fact, if that is 7 and 8, you're left with 1, 2 and 6, and we already have a 1 and a 6 in this row, so that can only be the 2. They all work out to the same thing, that's 2. That's 7 and 8, we've got a 7 there, so that must be 8, that must be 7. And these are indeed 1 and 6, we don't know which way up yet, but we've got something. 23 has to be 6, 8, 9. We already had the 8, now we also have the 9. Sorry, now we also have a 9 in. We also have a 9 there indicating that that one can't be 9. And therefore it must be 6, and that one must be 9. That 6 tells me that's the 1, and that's the 6. And that is a 9, which must be the remaining figures, 1 and 8. One way around or the other. And that can't be 1 and 4, because I have 1 and 4 there, and because I have a 1 here. Must be 2 and 3, and we don't know which way around. And this must be, if those are 1 and 8 and those are 2 and 3, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, the remaining figures for that row, and 8 and 9. 4, 5 and 7, no info on which way around. Up here we have a 6 and 8 here, so that, already in this column, so that can't be 6 or 8, so those can't be 6 and 8. So they must be 5 and 9, and we already have the 9 there in that column, so that's the 5 and that's the 9. And we need a 9 here, which can't be 1, 8 or 2, 7 or 3, 6. Well, that's a problem, isn't it? Oh no, we need 7 up here. We have a 9, but we already have a 2 in it. These two must add up to 7. Geez, which can't be 1, 6 or 2, 5, and must be 3, 4. We already have a 4 there in that row, so that one's 3 and that one's 4. Which just leaves 7 to go down there. That 8 cannot be 3 and 5, but it could be 1 and 7 or 2 and 6. That 9, this has to be 5 and 9. I've got a 9 there, so that's the 5, that's the 9. Which doesn't change that. I still don't know anything about that one. I do now know that the 5 in here must go in this column, and it can't go in this row or this row, so it has to go there. So that's the 4. Right, this 13 has to be 6, 7, we still don't know which way around. This has to be 4 and 5, and we still don't know which way around. This has to be 7 and 9. We've got a 7 there now, so now we know that that's the 9 and that's the 7. That has to be 6 and 8. We've got a 5 and 9. Oh, it doesn't, it's a 3-part 14. Good grief. This has to be 7 and 9. There's a 9 there, so that's 7 and that's 9. That just leaves 2 and 6 to make that 8, and we have a 6 there and a 2 there. So we put a 6 there and a 2 there to complete those two columns. These must make 13. They cannot be 4, 9, they cannot be 5, 8, so the 8 has to go up here, and they must be 6 and 7. There's a 6, so that's 7, that's 6. This 10 cannot be 4 and 6, or 3 and 7, or 2 and 8. It must be 1 and 9. I have 1 and 9 one way round. These must go the other way around. This 8 cannot be 1, 7. It cannot be 2, 6. It must be 3, 5. I have a 3 down there. So that's 5 and that's 3. Got an 8 there, so these must make 6. All I'm left with is 2 and 4, which makes 6. Really frightfully convenient. I've got a 2 down there, so that's the 4 and that's the 2. 14 still has to be 6 and 8. I have a 6. So that's the 8, that's the 6. And this still has to be 4 and 5. Now that I have 4, 5 there, I can put 4, 5 there the other way around. That must be 3 and 4 still. No, 2 and 3. Oh, we do. We have the 4. So that's 3 and 4. It has to go that way around. This 8 can still be 1, 7 or 2, 6. Can it? We've got a 1 and 7, so 1 and 7 that way up. But I have a 2 and 6 there. That space can be neither 2 nor 6. So this can't be 2 and 6, it can't be 3 and 5, it must be 1 and 7, and that 1 and 7, so this 1 and 7 must be the other way up from them. Well, at this point you can just complete the rows to get those 3. 6, 8, and 2. Making 16, which is conveniently the correct total. That's 6, that's 7. Tell me which way around, but that's 6 and that's 7. That's 1 and 8. I have 1 and 8 there. This 1 and 8 must go the other way around. And that's 2 and 3. That 2 and that 3. Tell me about that 2 and that 3.